tuning in to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show with your host, Michael Carvelis.
Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the internet. This is Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, per usual, as always. We're live here on Monday, December 25th, 2023. The time is currently 1:01 p.m. on the East Coast in Georgia, home of the 2-1 Georgia Swarm. This show stays winning. Congratulations to the Swarm, by the way, for that win. We are live here on 12 on Sports. That's 1, 2, the letter OZ Sports on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're an Instagram guy, it's on Daily Dive Lax. You're welcome for that. And thank you for 12 on Sports for allowing us to do that. But we are very excited to get into today's show. And by the way, low-hanging fruit here is that it's the holidays and this, that, and the other. Okay, guys, here's the thing. I've told people this before. I don't celebrate, but if you're having a good day with your family, I wish you the best. I know it's raining here in Georgia, which is very miserable. But just enjoy your day. And this will not be a all festive and I'm wearing hats and there's all these banners out here with. No, we're just going to talk lacrosse like we usually do. But on today's show, we're going to get to game recaps. We're also going to get to a naughty and nice list. That's like the only festive thing I'm doing today. And 3 stars of the weekend from 3 games. Interesting. Reminder, tickets.12ouncesports.com is where you want to go to find the best in tickets. You want to go to an NLL game? You got to go to an NLL game. I've been to a Georgia Swarm game. It was freaking fantastic. And I think you guys would gladly enjoy the NLL game. Here it is. I was talking through all that just to say this. Boom. You want to scan this barcode. You need to scan this barcode. It's a QR code. Basically, you take your phone while you're watching on the big screen, go like this, bloop, and you will see the tickets.12ouncesports.com website, or just go there. It's the website above. But yeah, check this out. It's probably the best way to support the show and 12 on Sports because it's affordable prices, better than Ticketmaster. We guarantee it. We are very excited to be a part of this, and it's a big deal for us. So tickets.12ouncesports.com. Cannot wait to get into that. So there is some news that happened today, or at least on the 23rd, I believe. So basically, the Rochester Nighthawks, which I knew they had gotten Stephen Keogh, but I noticed he hadn't played this year. Well, apparently he's on the short-term holdout list. Now, thankfully, if there's any history here, the fact that who was on the team? The fact that Mammoth just had Connor Kelly on the short-term holdout list is a big deal. So that's like, because he came back and I don't even know if he missed the game. No, he didn't miss a game. Like they had a bye week and then came back and played, which we did report was going to happen on Friday's show. But now, Stephen Keogh, how important is he to Rochester, you might ask? Well, we don't know because he hasn't played this year. But last year in 17 games for the Rock, he had 54 points and 13 call turnovers with 11 blocked shots. The dude soaks it up and he peppers the net. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. That's a big part of this team. That's a two-way player. We talk about Dane Smith playing defense. Stephen Keogh plays defense. It's a great deal. So, although that was something we got to get into there, Stephen Keogh has not even played for Rochester, and they are 3-0. So let's get into our game recaps, and presented by tickets.12ouncesports.com. We want to welcome to those of you who are watching on Instagram. First game is the Georgia Swarm defeated the Colorado Mammoth 15-8. As I mentioned before, Dylan Ward and Connor Kelly both played in this game, which we did report on Friday before the show ended. Georgia travel woes that I had kind of mentioned apparently did not mean much because, as we know, they came in and they just destroyed the Mammoth, like I said, by 7 goals. They'd beaten the Mammoth 16-10, and this one they scored 15 more on the road and then only allowed 8 goals, which is insane. Brad Dobson was absolutely locked down for the Swarm. I want to give a shout out to Andy Lindahl, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Colorado Mammoth, who was very electric as this game was getting electric in the third and fourth quarters. And I say electric because the Mammoth had their opportunity to score once again, and they could not get by Brad Dobson. I believe he made a SportsCenter top 10 play. I could be wrong, but I think it was like number 9 on SportsCenter top 10. Like number 9, when you like drop to your knees to make a shot, and then on the rebound you jump up. It's like, come on, dude. Like ESPN has got to do better with that. If that was the PLL, that might be the number 1 and number 2 play. Can we be honest with ourselves? So that was frustrating, but still, it made SportsCenter top 10 regardless. I guess it doesn't matter where you land on the list because, like, who cares? Like, they used to do, like, some best of the best thing, but regardless, he made the list. And, like I said, Brett Dobson was just incredible. Incredible in that game. The game got chippy again late because, remember, Zed Williams was one of 2 players from the Mammoth who was suspended for this game because of the last game these 2 teams played each other. Remember when I said Mike Manley might get suspended? Well, apparently it was Zed Williams who got suspended. That was interesting. But one thing I want to ask people, we can do the whole, Dylan Ward, he came back from the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, and we can talk about how he's not a regular season goalie. We can talk about how the Mammoth has struggled. They kind of dog walk the regular season. They don't really care. Is it going to matter in unified standings? And 0-2 to the same team is pretty pathetic, considering your backup allowed 16 and you allowed 15. It's not a good look for Dylan Ward. But not just that, I want to know, was he still hurt? And this gets back to my injury reporting thing, because we know how good Dylan Ward is. We know how good he can be. We know that he obviously watched the film on Georgia in the first game because he was sitting there watching the stinking thing. So I know he had to watch it and he had to look at the film on it. So why wasn't he better? Was it because his ankle, was a little bit hurting? Was his shoulder hurting? Were his ribs or his back? What the crap is going on with Dylan Ward? Again, the league is so stinking vague about that stuff. It's one of those things like Tom Schreiber, will he be back in 10 weeks? Will he be back next week? Will he be back at all of his season? Fans want to know, especially with the big names, what's going on. I don't care if you think if it invades their private lives. Who cares? You're in a public sports league, dude. I don't know what could be the problem here. I don't know whoever started that BS in any league, but it really doesn't make any sense to me. Because again, if Dylan Ward is hurt and he comes back from that PUP list, and we think he looks like crap, some guys get an excuse for that sometimes. I'm not saying Dylan Ward deserves one, because it might be like a little index finger sprain or whatever, which I'm not saying it is. I know they're tougher than that, but it's like, what is the deal here? We need more of this. And even if you don't give me the length of time, at least tell me, hey, he hurt his back or whatever. Because I'm like, okay, that explains why you give up 15 stinking goals. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot for a team who just barely scored against Vancouver, and they come in and drop 15 right on your buckets. Like, that's not a good thing. So was Dylan Ward hurt? And again, the whole injury thing, I hate doing the big picture thing every single time. You kind of have to wonder, though. Remember, tickets.12onsports.com is the place to be. Use this QR code to scan it now as I transition to the next game. It's the Toronto Rock, who, I'll be honest, had quite a battle. I remember I said last year those purple pesky kitty cats, those purple Panthers. Those guys do not play around. I don't know what it is about Fort Worth, Texas, but no one shows up to the games anyways, even though the numbers are like different, it looks low. I think 2,800 is actually a good number for them because I think the city looks like some more people showed up. Even Proud of the City podcast, Daniel Martin was saying he actually saw more fans in the building, so that was nice to see. Regardless of the fact, Mark Matthews and this Toronto Rock team without Tom Schreiber, remember the first time these 2 teams ever played each other, and it was a tough game. Despite the game being 9-5 late in the third quarter, the Panther City, those purple cats, they came back, they kept fighting, and they led 10-9 in the fourth quarter until Mark Matthews, running to his left, swings a shot, bingo. Mark Matthews, the next offensive possession, slings a shot, bingo, hits the back of the net, and Toronto Rock win the game and cover the 2.5, barely, 13-10, but we do thank them for that, for doing so. But this game went about, I don't think even I expected a heart attack by the Toronto Rock. I didn't feel like we were going to see Panther City give them a stroke, although that's pretty much what this game was. Because like I said, 9-5, you're like, okay, we got control. And then Panther City's like, no, we ain't done yet. Callum Crawford, John Donville, Phil Caputo, Will Malcolm, those boys play. And I know every team's got some nice names on it. Those guys were playing hard though. And I felt like that it seemed to me Kansas City had him right where they wanted him, and then Mark Matthews showed his brilliance and his takeover ability. Because remember, Mark Matthews is a pass first guy. The first 2 games this team has played, they were at Philadelphia, and he had like 4 goals in his debut. Then this game, he has 2 go-ahead goals, well, a tire and a go-ahead goal, which ends up being the game-winning goal in the stat sheet. And I think that's a big deal because when if Tom Schreiber comes back, you have to wonder, is he going to let Mark Matthews score? Because both those guys can pass, but we know Tom Schreiber historically has been more of a shooter. So you have to wonder, Mark Matthews can do this. It's like, what was Saskatchewan missing letting this guy just have 70 assists and only 20 or 30 goals? This dude's a champion. He was showing it. Next game is a game that happened on Saturday. The Rochester Nighthawks, who started very slow in this game. Again, I don't know what it is about Rochester. Maybe it's the lack of Stephen Keogh. I doubt that that's the full reason why this is happening. But Rochester, granted, they weren't trailing horribly late in this game. They were still trailing to start the game, and then Vancouver, we found out who the better team was in the end. But 13-11 is not a bad deal at all. Now, over 24.5 would have been nice because I believe that was the total for this game. Might be 23.5. I don't know. But we were like right on the total, so that kind of stunk. But Rochester showed their guns. Connor Fields kind of got things going in the second quarter. Rochester led by a little bit at the end of the halftime. And then third and fourth quarters, Rochester kept him right at arm's length, kind of like a little stiff arm on the game. But the bigger story of this game was that once again, Riley Hutchcraft comes in and saves the day, literally in terms of the word save. Like Ryland Hartley gave up, I believe it was 8 goals through like 3 quarters in like 7 minutes. They put in Riley Hutchcraft in the clutch, and he's just not today, Vancouver Warriors. So first of all, Kurt Molofsky is doing a good job because the last 2 games they destroyed Georgia, and then this game they come into Rochester and they play him about as well as Calgary and Saskatchewan played him. So that's not a bad deal for Vancouver. Dare I say they might move up my standings for the loss? I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll do that Wednesday. But right now, Kromolowski deserves a lot of credit. And I think Rochester, like I said, was able to keep him at arm's length, and that's a good thing. But they need Stephen Keogh. And producer Joe was watching this game more than I was to start. And he mentioned to me, it seemed like Connor Fields was like kind of the entire offense. Like if you shut him down, if there's a way to do that, which there ultimately in this game, to be fair, was not. But he was saying it seems like if you shut down Connor Fields or if you can limit him, you might be able to have this Rochester team. So that could be interesting when the playoffs come around if those top teams where Rochester stands and who they have to play against. That could be a big deal for the Rochester Nighthawks. So that's something to keep an eye on later on. I'll certainly watch it like a hawk, like a Nighthawk, if you will. Although I won't be military green, but I'll watch that for the future. Hey, producer Joe made a good point there. But yeah, so Rochester wins to cap off a 3-game weekend. Thanks to Riley Hutchcraft, who jumped in and saved the day again. Against Swarm beat the Mammoth 15-8 in front of Dylan Ward and Connor Kelly, who played the game. The Rock beat Panther City despite really suffering in the fourth quarter of that game and then finally coming back and showing them who's boss thanks to Mark Matthews. But when I come back, before we do our 3 stars of the weekend, we're going to do something called the naughty and the nice list. Now you're like, well, everyone does that. Well, ours are going to be based in the lacrosse world. Myself and producer Joe collabed on this. This should be a very fun time. So when I come back, naughty nice list here on Daily Dive. Who made it? Oh, but I can't wait. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't. Wrap some presents, why don't you?
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120ZE and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
Internet is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. This is Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvel, as per usual, as always. It is Monday, December 25th, 2023. The time is 1:17 p.m. here in Georgia on the East Coast, home of the 2-1 Swarm, which means this show stays winning. At least we hope so as the season goes on. We are live on 12 Ounce Sports via 12ozsports.com on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. And of course, they've allowed us to be on Daily Dive Lax on Instagram. So we appreciate those of you who are watching there if you are. We just got the game recaps from week 4. And now something I don't celebrate the holiday, but I will definitely get into this. It's the naughty, it's the nice list. And this man over here, my son and producer Joe, like, just pretend we're this guy. Pretend my face is right there with the beard. Pretend producer Joe's holding me up like they do in movies. Okay. We're going to start with the nice list. Give it 2 names for that one first. Commissioner Brett Frood. Now, why did Brett Frood make this list? Well, there's been a few things that Brett Frood, because remember last year on the show, or in season 1, I talked about how it felt like Brett Frood was, I feel like I didn't really see what he was doing too much. And I feel like Commissioner Josh here text. It's okay. So he keeps texting me and he keeps like ADHD loves it. Loves it. Okay, so basically Brett Frood, Commissioner Frood, like I said, I was like wondering, where are you, Brett Frood? Remember that whole little bit? And then the more I saw things happen, obviously unified standings helped a lot. Then he hires a bunch of great people. They do some initiatives like the Unbox thing. Like, this is nice. I like what I'm doing. Now, there are some things Brett Frood may have been in charge of that weren't fantastic, which I'll get to later. But as for now, it appears the Commissioner Brett Frood is top of the nice list. You're welcome, Commissioner. I still want to see more of you. Anyways, next up, number 1 on the naughty list. I'll be honest with you guys. I have never made this public, but I'll say it now because I do have Twitter burner accounts, so it's not like I can't see what he's saying. He doesn't say anything. He just flat out blocks me. Blocks me, blocks the show. I don't even know I have his website pulled up 24/7. So you're welcome. I won't even say what I'm going to call him. Graham Perot, who was on the show multiple times last year, decided this show stinks and blocked me, blocked Daily Dive Lax. So I'm like, I don't know what I did. Maybe this is like my way of trying to make amends, but it is pretty. I thought it was pretty funny. Like, where's Graham Perot's account? I was like, oh, that's what makes a lot of sense. Graham Perot, you make I'll give him 1 coal in his little stocking. I think it's 1 little coal. I don't know if it's like a big deal. Because like I said, he come on the show last year like a few times. So here's my wondering if I did anything wrong apology. Not really, but it sounds nice. Regardless, he's on the naughty list, number 1. Number 2 on the nice list. This man gave us his time despite being one of the biggest stars in NLL or PLL. He's the prodigy. He's one of the promised ones, and the Buffalo Bills said, nah, we don't need you. But he came on this show and voiced his love for the Rochester Nighthawks. We're talking about one Connor Fields. Connor Fields was a great interview. He was the same great person off the recording camera. I loved that interview, and I just want to give him a big shout out for being on the nice list. And I know nice list is kind of like, hey, cheap, like thanks for being on our nice list this year. No, Connor Fields was genuinely awesome, and he deserved a lot of credit for trying to help grow the game. And I think that Connor Fields is a great person to add to that list. Although, to be fair, producer Joe had to remind me to put him on the nice list, but whatever. No, okay, number 2 on the naughty list. Oh. He's checking this list. Oh, yeah, it's not good. Okay, so the International Olympics Committee, I know they're naughty by nature, but not having them as not having the Haudestonis automatically. The fact that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, has to get up there and say, well, I voiced my support for this wonderful league, and he didn't say that, but he said like, I believe the Haudenosaunee, I believe that they should be able to support their flag. That's great. Great PR by Joe Biden. I was about to say commissioner, by President Joe Biden. But it was it's not a good thing. Like, why do we have to have this argument in the first place? Like, why was this not in place? It doesn't help that lacrosse has not been in the Olympics since like 1908 or God knows whatever year that was where no one was alive. But it's like, come on, guys. They literally invented the game. Whatever. Who cares? A lot of people care, but you get my point. Okay, next up on the nice list, the thumbs up list. We're going to go with anybody who was involved in the Unboxed initiative. That's just from like the people who organized the Montreal thing with the Riptide and the Rock to the people like Kurt Hunziker, who has been named as a big spearhead of this whole thing. Those Sports Design, who was big on this. There's just so many great people involved in the Unboxed series, which I think is elite programming. It's elite. It's a great idea. You talk about growing the game. That's putting your money. That's backing up what you talk. That's practicing what you preach. Unboxed series is a perfect idea. Perfect idea. And I think it definitely deserves our praise and our nice list again for what that's worth. Next up on the naughty list. Oh, so we were thinking about, Paul Rabel. I don't think Paul Rabel, I don't know if he's to blame for this. But I feel like the PLL, remember when they say we're having a big territory or reveal where everyone pisses on their own spot and, we're going to play there for a week? Okay, you get a home teams, basically. And it's not a very good thing because a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, were irate, to say the very least, that the entire middle of the country was not included. Now I know what you're saying. Well, it's not good geographically. Well, this, that. Listen, who cares? Like, there's nobody out there who's going to come to your game? Nobody. You don't think it's even worth it? You think we can put somebody in New York, Carolina, of all places, Utah? That's the best Midwest team we got? Come on, man. Come on, dude. Seeing the graphic, I know there's only 8 teams as well, but again, it's unacceptable. The Midwest deserves at least one team. Chicago, that's North, well, whatever. Indianapolis could be a place. Kentucky, I don't know. My geography sucks, but I'm trying to think of one other place. Geez, I'm bad at this. North Dakota, that's bad too. Whatever. You understand the point. The point is, producer Joe told me before, I'm not good at geography, and he might be right. The point is, Midwest, you needed help, and no one cared. Paul Rivers said, Midwest? What is that? We're all East Coast, West Coast gang. Not good. Okay, next up on the nice list. To be fair, this one could kind of like make both of them because of some of the jokes that they do. But whoever the heck is running the NLL memes account is just, they're clever, they're genius, they're really funny. I poked fun at who it might be, and the truth is I don't know who was running the account. I wish I did. I would love to collaborate with them. I know, I believe they put me on there before, which I thought was fantastic and hysterical. But NLL memes, whoever's running that account on Instagram, you deserve our praise and you deserve our respect. And will you marry me? Okay, next up. That was so bad. I don't know. Whoever's doing that, is just incredible. Okay, let's do another nice list because we might have one naughty left. Nice facelift. Nice list. ESPN, Warrior Lacrosse, people that are involved, just everybody involved with getting this sport to grow. It's just, I love seeing the fact that ESPN allows us to be on the Plus platform. They've allowed ESPNU and ESPN2 to have a couple games. ESPN is a big deal with PLL and Paul, you get it, Paul Rabel. And I think that's a big deal for lacrosse, no matter what version of it is, even though they're two different sports, but whatever. That's only what Connor Fields said, not me. The point is, it's lacrosse, and I'm being forced to say that ESPN and Warrior Lacrosse are great. Now, that wasn't a knock on Warriors, that was a knock on ESPN. But basically, everyone involved with sponsoring and growing the game for being kind of like the pioneers of like what's in our back pocket right now, because it's very scarce, if you will, at least for the NLL. I don't know how the PLL looks, but I think the NLL is trying to get more money. But I just appreciate anybody who's been involved with that. But ESPN and Warrior, you deserve our respects. At least producer Joe respects. Next up, so this one's good. Remember one of the hires that Brett Frude made? It was like the executive director of digital marketing. I wish I saw that page pulled up so I could look at it. But basically, Scott Turkin is involved with this. And I have loved everything about I've been vocal about the social media or lack thereof in the National Lacrosse League. And I believe Scott Turkin and whoever is involved with this has been awesome. From their graphics, which have gotten better, their play, like the highlight plays, the use of emojis, which I think is a big thing, even though that sounds stupid. Scott Turkin is also like led this department. Like they're milking the Matt Vince running real fast, like onto the field pregame against the Seals. Like they're doing so much great things that I think can only help grow the social media following. And as I've said before, PLL has done social media A+. I think they've done great job with social media. I think NLL, they're not there yet, but they're getting closer than they were before. And I think it's a great thing for the league. There's a lot of naysayers. Lax cow. Okay. I'll get to the last naughty thing here. Santo, it's kind of nice this year, it seems like. So I don't know if Brett Frude's to blame here. I don't know who is to blame. But quite a few people dropped the ball, if you will. And it's why they dropped the ball because, we were wondering, myself and producer Joe, even though we weren't going to get to go anyways, we were like, it'd be good. It would be cool thing to go to the NLL draft, just to be there, get content. Well, apparently, if we had gone, we'd be the only ones giving people content because it was not broadcasted, not even on YouTube, no Instagram Live, no Twitter Live. I don't know what was going on. But the fact the draft and then the night before the Hall of Fame was not broadcast in any form, that was horrible. Like, people like seeing stuff live. Why do you think I get on the show and like unedited for minutes and hours on end? Because I love you guys. I understand what you crave. You crave the interaction. You crave seeing me talk to you while you're sitting there eating your Lunchables at work or whatever. Like, you love this stuff. So the fact that we don't get anything, it was ridiculous. And remember, Sean Williams, Hall of Fame, Dyson Williams, drafted number 1 overall. The league has an entire initiative on Tucker. The Tucker thing, like that's a big deal. And Dyson, in his interview with I think it was Teddy Jenner, was talking about it, and nobody saw it until like hours later. It's not a good idea. Like, who wants to keep on refreshing their NLL.com page or their Twitter page? Like, come on, man. We could have done so much better with that. So whoever dropped the ball, whoever thought it'd be better to save money, can kiss the bottom of my stocking, okay? There's 2 more nice things to get here. First one is the IOC. You're like, well, Michael, you said they're naughty by nature. That's very true. But I did kind of mention this earlier. For the first time since like 1908, lacrosse is back in the Olympics. Now, I don't like the beginning of the hype video from the NLL where they say, lacrosse sixes, and then like the guy says like pickleball. It really makes lacrosse look like a very serious and competitive sport. So I wasn't a fan of that part. But the fact lacrosse in any form is up there is really awesome. Again, I don't know why they show the entire part of that, but whatever. But the Olympics allowing it. I say allowing it. Like, thank you for allowing us your graces to be here. No, you get it. They put it back in, and it was long overdue. And I think it shows that the game in 2028, by then, we could be in Hollywood with our own little Walk of Fame spots, and you guys could be watching lacrosse daily on this show. There might be another daily show. We were just the first ones to do it. All about growing the game, and that's what matters. And finally, this young man beside me, he has a nice list that was pretty long. And what is he looking at here? So that beard that's never gray, only white for some stupid reason. stupid holiday. He's saying, oh, Wayne Gretzky. And did I say last but not least? Wayne Gretzky, on one of the TNT broadcasts for the NHL, on one, I believe it was a halftime show, gave glowing remarks on the sport of lacrosse. And it was awesome to hear the GOAT of one sport say something else positive about a sport trying to grow. Because remember, he's directly involved with the Denver Dogs. And the fact that he uses his platform, he did not have to do that. No one paid him because, obvious to God, he is just, he could say whatever he wanted. He's Wayne freaking Gretzky, but he used his platform to make eloquent remarks about the NLL. God, I keep saying that about lacrosse. It's not like it does help that he's involved with the NLL, with the Vegas team, but it's just awesome to see. And I know Wayne Gretzky doesn't need any more praise than he already gets, but the dude is a legend. And I think it meant something. It meant something to people out there that may not have tuned in prior. Like, oh, Wayne Gretzky, the best hockey player of all time, likes lacrosse. What is lacrosse? They look it up and they see the NLL. It's a great thing. Yeah, nice list. Naughty list. Again, naughty list involved Graham Perot. Love that. The IOC, because they're naughty by nature, by leaving out Haudenosaunee, and the fact it's taking this long to even make a decision is ridiculous. The PLL for saying middle finger to the Midwest. We see you, fans. We support you. The NLL, whoever dropped the ball with the draft in the Hall of Fame not being broadcast. For the nice list, Commissioner Brett Fruit for all the good things he's been, obviously, the lead in, of course. Connor Fields for giving us his time and for being amazing at what he does. Anybody involved in the Unbox Initiative that was spearheaded by Kurt Hunziker, the designs by Fuser Sports Design, Fuser, who was willing to come on this show, was great. ESPN, Warrior, anybody involved in sponsoring and growing the game from a logistical and a money platform, that's a big deal. And you guys will be first to the punch on that, so you guys may get the bigger contracts later on. NLL Memes, whoever you are, you're awesome. Your account is incredible and giving us free content for no reason. Scott Turkin, one of Commissioner Fruit's hires, who's the director now of digital marketing. They've been incredible with that. The IOC made both lists because they did put lacrosse back in the Olympics, and that was a big deal, even though pickleball and baseball and lacrosse sixes. Oh, come on, man. Anyways, in Wayne Gretzky using his electric platform and his Go platform to credit lacrosse during a hockey game, which was just incredible. All right, we ain't done yet. When I'll come back, we go 3 stars of the weekend. Are you ready to see who made it? There were 3 games. Could it be that one team had 2 players? I don't know. We'll figure it out next, though. It's the Daily Dive. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't. We're almost done, people. Then you can eat your cookies.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120OZE and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
You're once again watching the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. This is Daily Dive. I've been your host, Michael Carvel, as per usual. As always, I want to thank producer Joe for helping with the ticker, among other things, content-wise as well. It is Monday, December 25th, 2023. The time is currently 1:37 p.m. here on the East Coast in Georgia, home of the now 2-1 Georgia Swarm. This show stays winning, at least for now. We are live on 12 Ounce Sports with the letter at 12sports.com. Also on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, where 428 subscribers are. We thank you for tuning in, the extra ones we've gotten since we've joined them. And also, we are live on Daily Dive Lex on Instagram, which is pretty fun. I see you. Let's do some shout outs here. I see you, Brett. Not Brett Fruit. I see you, R43 Johnson. Producer Joe, what's up? Judy Boy. Lacrosse Classified's been lurking the last two podcasts. Or the last two shows. That's pretty fun. I don't know if they're actually watching, but Jake Elliott, if you are, thanks a lot for winning the Preston's Picks thing. Preston chose you. Oh, whatever. But no, Adam Levy Fridays here on Daily Dive, by the way. Tickets.12ouncesports.com is the place to go. And if you don't want to, if you're too lazy to do that, just do this. I'll do it with you. We're going to scan the barcode, the QR code. What is this? Huh, look at that. Tickets.12ouncesports.com. The next event on here is San Diego Seals and Rochester Nighthawks. 354 tickets are left. Now, I'm about to be honest with you guys. That team just had 3,800 people according to the numbers. Let me check that again, actually. They claimed this past weekend they had 3,845 people, okay? You're telling me they've already sold that many tickets? You're literally lying to the people if you only have 354 tickets left and 3,800 people show up. That means you don't have a lot of seats open. Come on, man. They probably have 1,000 seats. Producer Joe, I love the guy, but man, he is funny. I really shouldn't have even given him credit for saying this because he doesn't like taking the heat. I do. Are they counting? Let's be honest. Maybe not as much Rochester as it is Albany and Panther City. Although I think Albany and Panther City have great social media teams, I've noticed. Albany's been awesome on social media this year. It helps their winning, but they've been really good with that stuff, including showing guys on napkins and little Debbie boxes. They've been funny if you catch my drift. But are they counting the people at the concession stands? Are they are the Riptide counting the two concession stands that they have open? Are they counting the teams? Are they count the players, the coaches, the refs, the guy who says, here, let me see your ticket? Who are they counting? The broadcast team? Come on, man. Like I said, that wasn't a knock on Rochester. That was a knock on other teams in the league, like Panther City and Albany, who, again, have great social media teams and PR teams, especially Panther City. What's up, Andy? All right. It's time for 3 stars of the weekend. You know what? I don't know if this is my little gift to these guys, but then on this next one, we've got 2 winners now who have come back and won a second, third star of the weekend. Because remember last week it was Alex Simmons won it twice this season so far. Well, check this one out. Boom! Brett Dobson, his first appearance after making 42 saves on 50 shots. I'm telling you guys, as great as Georgia was, that game would have been a lot closer if Brett Dobson had not made the amazing saves. Oh, stop by Dobson, said Andy Lindahl, friend of the show. Mark Matthews, second time this year. Rocket played 2 games, and Mark Matthews has got 2 3 stars of the weekend awards. 3 goals, 3 assists, and 2 of those goals, by the way, came in the fourth quarter when the team was trailing 9-10. You also had 2 Lucy's because we are big Lucy lovers. That sounded weird. But yeah, Mark Matthews doing a great job. And you almost wonder, will Tom Schreiber be the goal scorer or Mark Matthews? Because this dude is making Derek Keenan cry right now. Riley Hutchcraft, I believe 2 games this year, and he's won also 2 3 stars of the weekend. Rochester's 3-0, and a big reason was because of him. He stepped in, played 8 minutes, faced 23 shots in 8 minutes of play, and made 20 saves. Just a dog of a Nighthawk out there wearing military green. Ugh. But I mean, great job though for those guys. Again, you'll notice there's 2 goalies on the list, which is first time I believe that's ever happened on the show. But I think that each team deserves somebody because each team had like some electric performances. I will say, Lyle Thompson had a good performance. For I believe he had like 1 turnover again. Like Colorado had 2 turnovers in week 1, 8 against Vancouver, and then 1 in this game. So it's great for him. For the Rock, Nick Rose was pretty good, but I mean, it's not like Panthers City has a great offense. And then for the Nighthawks, Connor Fields was good. Like he was great, honestly, but Connor Fields didn't like have like a 5-goal performance. So the Riley Hutchcraft in 8 minutes of work did a great job. Make sure that was 8 minutes. I don't want to get those stats wrong. But let's see here. Riley Hutchcraft. It was okay, I lied. It was 20. Good Lord. It was 24 minutes. So basically he came in mid-third quarter and made 20 saves on 23 shots. Same thing. Still wins the star of the weekend. And this one has a candy cane on. I'll zoom in on that candy cane. I like candy canes, actually. Not that matters to you guys. What matters to you guys is what you got for whatever this holiday you celebrate is. So enjoy your families, enjoy your friends, enjoy any food if you're eating today. We're gonna log off the Instagram now and say thank you for those of you that tuned into that. So with that being said, for everyone that watched the show and watches the replay, watches us live in general, you're the bread, you're the butter, you are the candy cane to my stocking. That was not bad, actually. For everyone that comes on as a guest on the show, like Cooper Perkins, Graham Perot, I'm kidding. Adam Levy, who gives us every Friday. That's just awesome. Thank you guys for giving us credibility. For our moles, you are incredible. You give us the authority to speak, and Tyson Geek can call us out for breaking news, even when we don't do so. For producer Joe, who is the baddest daddy in producing history, I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. Have a great rest of your day. He's 14-5 because who gives a crap? Who cares? Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place on Sports. This has been Daily Dive.